What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Fan Effect Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bushido Geek, aka the Shogun of Fandom. I don't know. All right, we're done. We're done.
Oh, is that
was a
it?
great recording. That's it.
Okay.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. We did it.
Go us.
Show's
Shortest
over.
podcast.
Show's over. That should be the
Time
new
to
gimmick.
wrap up.
That should be the new gimmick. Just 20-second clips. Just like, hey, welcome to this week's edition. Hope you guys have a week, and then you just end it.
And then we're done.
Yeah,
Good
and then
job.
we just move on. Watch us just hit 10,000 downloads on every episode after that.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah. So as always, I'm joined by Sam,
Hi.
the man.
I live
And,
here.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking some Batman because it just came out. It's pretty relevant, and
Literally.
we both have seen it, so it's pretty fresh.
Mm-hmm.
We both have thoughts. I've seen lots of people talking about it.
I have so many thoughts.
So just stay tuned. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Batman. So just spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear about Batman, then you should
Stop
leave
what
the
you're doing.
episode on because I want to listen.
Uh-huh.
But mute it and just leave it up on your screen and then walk away.
And then walk away to go watch
And then
the movie.
and then play it again once you've seen Batman.
And then you can join us in the conversation.
Right, yeah, because again, we want all the listens. So I guess the best way to start it, in terms of an overall consensus, is there was only one moment in the theater where anyone in the theater I was in reacted.
Okay.
And it was only one guy, and everyone could then looked at him.
So, I also want to preface that DC hater, that's me. You know how much I don't like DC. And then there's you.
Right, who
over here,
loves
DC.
Yes, who loves DC way more than Marvel, which is why it always pains me how bad their movies are.
So
tend to be. Some are.
This
some
is going to be
good.
The two opposite ends of this spectrum that we've got happening to talk about this movie.
Right. Not only that, but I'm the guy who's read all the comic stuff and watched all the movies on year one Batman.
Your turn to be the nerd.
That's an amazing movie. Batman Year One. It's great. And then there's book series Batman Earth One. Anyways. I've read all that stuff. So I came into this knowing the angle they were going with. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think we talked about before where I was yelling at friends of mine that were like, I just don't get it. Why does he not have all the cool Batman? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, because it's not freaking 10 years into him being Batman.
Literally.
It's literally the start of it. It's literally like he just started using Wayne Towers to fund his own private R&D research. That he's just figured this out. It's so early on.
It's Mark getting visibly upset. And we aren't 5 minutes in yet.
Right. Because I was, and this is me being angry at people before the movie came out that just weren't understanding it. So I knew the route they were going with.
All right, buddy.
I will say this. If the movie had been an hour shorter, it would have probably been my second or third favorite DC movie behind the first Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And oddly enough, I did like Aquaman. I thought it was solid. Not great, but solid.
Okay.
That also shows you how bad their movies have been. If that's my number two.
Solid.
Right. Because I would love to say Justice League or Superman versus Batman. Honestly, here's how bad Superman versus Batman it was. The only thing I can remember from that movie is me and my friends yelling at each other wait a minute. Your mom's name's Martha too? Dude, best friends! And then,
Wait,
That's,
who's Batman in that movie?
Ben Affleck.
Great.
Yeah.
I also will preface that the only DC movies that I've seen are both of the Wonder Woman movies.
Yeah.
Shazam.
Second one was pretty bad. Shazam was terrible. It was so bad. It was terrible.
Shazam.
I fell asleep 3 times.
Oh my god.
3 times. That means I caught myself waking up the first time, made corrections to not do it again, and still did it 2 more times.
Well, those are the only 3 DC movies I've seen prior to
I've
Batman.
seen every single one. I've seen every single DC movie.
So, this is now a flip. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
This is how you feel when I talk about Marvel.
Yeah. Which, mind you, I'm making roads into trying to get to know the comics out of Marvel. Like, I'm picking up more Marvel stuff to try to learn more on the Marvel side of stuff. Their movies are way better.
Oh, absolutely.
Just not their animated. Just not their animated movies. Their animated movies are trash.
You know what?
They don't even do that many anymore. They
don't. That's why I'm not even worried.
They've given up.
Animated movies anymore.
DC just crushed it with their animated movies.
So, back to Batman.
Yeah.
You said if it was less than 3 hours.
If it was an hour, like exactly an hour shorter, I guarantee you.
2 hours.
Yeah, it would have been my number 2 DC movie, maybe even number 1.
I want to tell you, because this movie was so long, I also fell asleep.
I almost did, but I had Cameron, so he, when he was at that crabby point, I had to super focus because I was like, I need to finish this. I'm not going to be able to come back to the theater
to watch the last hour of it.
Right. There's no point. I'm not sitting through the first 2 hours again just to catch the last hour. So I'm going to have to do things that aren't legal in order to watch this movie. And I don't want to do that.
Would never condone.
Right. You never do that.
No.
So I was like, I have to keep him. I have to do whatever it takes to get him. So there was a rough moment where he almost started crying, and I had to pull out the dad voice of oh,
don't you dare.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot. Yeah. Again, it's probably the number. Again, here's how bad DC's done with their movies.
Oh my God, we haven't talked about Batman.
This is probably my number 3.
Okay. Or
4.
So, you said that there was one moment where some guy made a noise or whatever that reacted.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that was me and my cousin in the theater? There would be scenes that nobody would do anything, and then it was just me and my cousin going and just start cracking up. Wasn't funny to the people. But me and my cousin were just laughing so hard in the theater, and we were the only ones. So
there was a couple of things that they did that I thought were very nice touches in terms of showcasing how psychologically fucked up.
I was going to say, this stuff R-rated.
This stuff did to him early on, and that being where he was keeping a diary of what he did every night because he was essentially staying up so late and using drugs to keep himself active, that he was essentially blacking out every night and using video recordings to remind himself of what he did, and then taking a journal so he knew what he did. Mm-hmm. That I thought was an amazing touch. Okay. Very subtle, but a great little psychological touch of this is how messed up being Batman is what it's doing to him. In only 2 years. He doesn't even remember what he's doing anymore.
2 years is a short amount of time.
Right, and that's how damaging it's been to him. Because, again, so this is jumping around, but it showcases that scene more when you get to the end and Joker's already in jail, which I thought, again, was a nice touch because everyone knew there was going to be a new Joker, but no one wants to see the origin fight, right? We've already seen it 5 times now.
Million times.
It's the same thing with Spider-Man. It's the same thing with Spider-Man and Uncle Ben, where with the Amazing Spider-Man, they just stopped doing that part. Or, with Tom Holland.
Yes, they just stopped it.
Where they just skipped it, and it was after he was already dead. And I was like, great, because we've already seen this so many times, we don't need it again. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was a great touch, introducing Batman's arguably greatest villain in the Joker, and already being he's already fought him, beat him, and put him in jail.
Right. So who is it? Who's the new Joker?
I'm blanking on the guy's name.
I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know if they've confirmed it.
Well, there's somebody shouldn't there be somebody in the credits?
There is. But no, that's the thing. They didn't put it in the credits. I did read the article about this. Because when I thought Cameron wasn't going to make it, I was going to have to leave about 10 minutes left. I looked up what's the ending to the new Batman movie. because I didn't think Cameron was going to make it.
Uh-huh.
And I read up on the stuff of the Joker, but they purposely left out any name in the credits to avoid like showcasing who it is. So that there is a Joker in the next movie, because let's be honest, there's going to be another one.
Oh, yeah.
Will have the Joker in it, but they have not confirmed who it's going to be yet. So I like that they did that. That was a nice touch. Yeah, the movie's got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8.6 on IMDb. They're getting a second movie. Like, yeah, and it made $130 million opening weekend, which is the largest debut in 2022.
But it's only March.
No, I'm saying like but big movies have come out that are getting sequels. So the fact that this movie is already like hitting $200-300 million, they're getting a second movie. Like guaranteed. But yeah, again, lots of good things, but so many unneeded scenes. I didn't need 15 minutes of the nightclub. Like
I didn't need half that movie.
Like, they went back to the nightclub like 5 times, and every time it's him getting in the door, and I'm like, all right, I get that it's a running gag.
But third time is too many times.
Right. 2 times is, you did it great with the 2. It was funny. He shows up as Batman, does the thing, punches the guys, he gets in anyway. Shows up as Bruce Wayne. They look, they're like, what the hell? And they let him in.
Oh my god, it's fucking Bruce Wayne.
You did it. It was funny. I liked it. And then you did it a 3rd time with him as Batman. He sneaks in and locks the guy out. And I was like, nope.
Then we're done.
Too much.
Can I tell you, I thought it was so funny that anytime Bruce Wayne was on the screen, everybody was like, oh, it's Bruce Wayne. Look at him. There he is. That's Bruce Wayne. And then it's Batman. Right. They're all like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. So it was smart not showcasing so much on the Bruce Wayne stuff. Right? Because you have more movies for that.
I was going to say, I went to see Batman. Y'all can hate me if you want. The only reason I went to go see that movie because Robert Pattinson looked emo. Yeah. I'm a simple woman.
Yeah.
That's all I needed in my life. And let me tell you, the very few amount of scenes he was Bruce Wayne were my favorite. Oh my god, him in his like pajamas with his sunglasses on is the freaking morning. He's just standing in his living room with his sunglasses on.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah. Perfect relatable moment. Also, I was trying to find more info on like what it's up to now.
Yeah, no,
in terms of sales.
Okay.
And it was like whoever wrote this Deadline article, you're a fucking idiot, because it was like Batman won't really receive any competition until March 25th when Paramount opens up its Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum romantic comedy movie Lost City. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot if you think that's the competition. No, the competition is the fact that the movie's been out for a month by then.
Right.
No movie outside of Endgame and Spider-Man and Avatar has done well after a month. Maybe Titanic, I guess, but has done well after a month. Notoriously, it's like a 90% drop after 30 days. Mm-hmm. So whoever wrote that for freaking Deadspin, you're a fucking idiot.
Wow.
But
the harshest of takes.
Yeah. So I liked the guy they cast as Riddler. I thought this was the best on-screen interpretation of Riddler I've ever seen.
Okay, tell me why.
Because in the comics, like even the animated series don't really do the Riddler that justice, but in the comics, he's a messed up dude. The guy does like really terrible things with these riddle clues. Like, he's supposed to be on the intellectual level of Batman. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, his riddlers are so tough that
is
only
Batman
Batman.
A genius?
Yes.
Since when?
He always. So he's. They didn't showcase it a whole lot in this movie because like Alfred's helping him out with like some of the crossword puzzles, because he's like, I don't speak Spanish or whatever. That's what it was, because he doesn't speak Spanish or whatever. The weird thing is that in the comics and everything, Batman, I mean, again, it's early Batman, so maybe they're just going to build up to it. Like, he sees all the mistakes that he's making, so he showcases it. But, like, later on, like, when he's been Batman for a long time, he speaks, like, 30 different languages and...
fluent in Spanish.
Is, like, a 180 IQ. Like, he's smarter than... Like, his IQ in the comics is higher than Albert Einstein. So yeah, Batman's supposed to be like an uber genius, and like the Riddler is like the only intellectual evil. Like the other villains have their things, but the Riddler is the intellectual level with him. So I loved that part. I think they did a great job with Riddler. Just having to be like this average guy who just has a really messed up story and just really wants to like just get in with Batman. I think the mistake.
Get in with Batman,
like to like have him be like the obsession or whatever. Like they did that really well, but I think the mistake was having the Riddler figure out who he was, like with no real...
How did he figure out who he was? Did I miss that bit?
He says it when they're in jail.
Oh, maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
When they're in jail and he's talking to the Riddler in jail, the Riddler like leans up close to the glass, looks at the camera because it's recording, and then like they start saying something, and then the Riddler just goes, Bruce Wayne, and starts like just says Bruce Wayne over and over again, like advocating like, I know who you are, I know you're Bruce Wayne. Like,
well, I was gonna say, because he was the only like, well, Bruce Wayne was dropping shit, was the only like victim he had that didn't die either, though.
Right. So I didn't like that, because I'm like, if you're gonna have a major villain reveal that like, hey, I know who you are, then I feel like there needs to be some explanation of like him figuring it out,
how he got to point B.
Even like 10 seconds of just like it, because they briefly pan over his little serial killer board when they get to his apartment, and you see Batman's picture on it and Bruce Wayne's picture on it. So I don't know if that was a justification for it, of like he was starting to put the pieces together and he figured it out or whatever. But I just wanted more of like a reveal of like,
I've never seen these two in a room together.
Look, guys, he figured it out. Yeah, like he figured it out. Let's dive into it a little, like something. Like
no, then something. The movie would have been 3.5 hours long.
That's true. Yeah.
And I don't know how much I could have. I would literally sit in the movie and go, "Oh God."
Yeah.
It's only 5.
Yeah, the Selena Kyle stuff. Clearly eye candy, but decent acting choice. They didn't lean too heavily into the eye candy stuff.
Man.
They had their moments.
What the fuck? Kissing ruins any movie for me.
But in the comics, they like legit get married.
I don't give a shit.
Like they legit like fall in love, get married, and then get divorced, and it's a whole thing. Like there was actually a run from like 4 years ago called I think it was literally called Batman's Wedding, and it's ruined by Booster Gold. It's the only reason I know about it, because it involves Booster Gold. Wedding. Because it involves Booster Gold.
Stop. No, that's my hot take for any movie. If you put a kissing scene that is not necessary, I'll instantly not like it. That ruins every movie for me.
It wasn't enough of a build-up between the two of them to justify.
No. There's no that man has no feelings. And then all of a sudden, kiss this girl. Okay, let's just go.
Right, because early on, like, if you watch the Gotham show, the Gotham show does a good job of building up to it over 4 seasons, because it's a whole thing of like, she originally is only interested in because she's like, oh, he's a billionaire with his only security is an old man. Like, this is the easiest robbery of my entire life.
Don't talk about Alfred like that.
So I'm gonna go over the major cast. I thought Alfred was a good casting choice.
I enjoyed that actor.
Mainly because I just love that dude.
Me too.
That dude can do no wrong in my book. I will like him in every movie he's in, always. Same thing with the guy who played Bilbo Baggins. I will love every movie he's in.
Absolutely.
I thought the Penguin, I liked the look. Terrible actor for it.
No. The Penguin, do you love how when he was like chained up and they left him there, and it was him just waddling around.
Oh, that was a nice touch.
That was so funny.
You guys just gonna leave me here? Fuck you guys.
Waddle back.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. Very underwhelming.
Okay.
And I think that was part of the problem when they were introducing all the stuff in this movie, and they were like Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman. I was like, wait, whoa, like
that's so many people.
Yeah, how are you gonna do all this solidly? And they did a great job with Riddler, great job with Catwoman. Penguin dropped the ball.
Was the answer.
The worst part, and that's just because again I know enough about Batman. Not a lot, but enough. I know more about Red Hood. Is that the actor he's a good actor. I liked him in Transformers, but the guy who played Don Falcone, that was a travesty to the character of Don Falcone.
I'm sorry, tell me why.
Don Falcone is literally supposed to be like DC's Fist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, not in terms of like he has super strength and all that other stuff that Fisk does, but just in terms of like he's supposed to be so high up on the mobster chain, even just in terms of the families in general, that even like when he retires, his name is still like just feared to be like, we can't piss off the Falcone family too much or he'll come back. Like that kind of fear. And he's like just this pushover, wannabe gangster who's afraid of everything. Like the Don Falcone and anything else would have taken that girl shooting at him. Yeah, would have taken that girl shooting at him and been like, let's go, and pulled out like a giant shotgun or something. Like they ruined Don Falcone. That was the big mistake. One, killing him off. Because again, he's supposed to be like the big mobster guy. But I get it. They're trying to rush the Penguin into that role because in the comics, the Penguin is the guy running the Iceberg Lounge.
Okay.
So
sure,
I
you're
think
telling me things, I'll believe you.
I think for the second movie, they're trying to rush it so that when the second movie is taking place, the Penguin is the high pecking order, pun intended. Guy in the criminal underworld, and he runs it out of the Iceberg Lounge. Like from a comic standpoint, I think that's where they're going. But they just rushed it in such a way where it like Don Falcone was supposed to be like this the second main subplot, right, with the girl and her girlfriend or friend, or I don't know. I couldn't tell if she was bi
I don't know.
or
I don't know either because she kept calling her baby.
Right, but then she's kissing Bruce Wayne and telling like, you got to come with me. Like, let's just leave. We'll do robberies together. And I was like, are they making Catwoman bi now, or is she always? I don't know about Catwoman to really know.
No. I don't know. She seems like it.
Right. Not that there's any problem with it, but they just didn't explain it at all.
Right.
Like and I'm like, I shouldn't be confused on what's going on.
No, I understand.
I don't know. There was things that I liked, but it was just so long.
You know what I really did like though, also? His house. Like on the inside.
Yes.
That's what I want my house to look like.
Yeah, they did I like that they showed like a little bit of the Wayne Manor. Also I liked it was a subtle touch, but again, he didn't always just have Alfred.
That old lady?
Right. So I like that because later on he essentially gets rid of every staff member because his house starts becoming targeted by villains who either A, know who he is, or B, are just like, I need to kidnap Bruce Wayne because he's the richest dude in Gotham.
Richest motherfucker in Gotham. Can I say something about Gotham?
Yeah. Did it look like New York? Are you going to say New York?
Well, I was going to say the Wayne Manor looked like the Empire State Building almost, but like... No. Who placed Gotham where it is? Where the fuck is Gotham?
I have no idea.
I know it's like not a real place, but like general area.
It's supposed to be like on the same continent as Metropolis.
Where the fuck is that?
I don't know. They never explain this stuff.
Jersey? Like, I don't... Okay, so why is Gotham?
It's traditionally depicted as being located in New Jersey.
I was getting the Jersey feel. Okay, that's
yeah,
what I was getting.
A map showing Gotham City to be located in the U.S. state of New Jersey from Amazing World of DC Comics issue 14. Metropolis is located around DC. So yeah, it's style, I guess, after the U.S.
Okay, so who the fuck put Gotham in water?
That's always been the thing.
But like, why?
Oh, there's literally it's just that's where that's where the pioneers settled it because of the access to fresh water or whatever.
You can have fresh water next to you. You don't have to be in the fresh water.
No, there's no downsides. Every Batman movie has clearly shown us that there's no way to systematically cut off Gotham from anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I've never seen any of the other Batman movies.
Even in the Gotham show, there's no indication. If you can't tell, I'm being incredibly sarcastic. Yeah. It literally happens in every single Batman show or movie where Gotham, due to something, gets cut off from the outside world. Well, and has to survive on their own as Gotham turns into like a land of crazy.
But I was like, I didn't know this about Gotham. I didn't care. I didn't pay that much attention to the movie where I'm like, a dam. I didn't realize the whole freaking town, city, whatever, was surrounded by a dam. So when the thing started blowing up, I was like, what is he blowing up? The supporting walls.
Yeah.
Who thought this was a good idea? And then Gotham starts flooding.
Yeah, so in both Gotham, the TV show, and the Christopher Nolan trilogy, Bane, and then in the show, it's ironically the guy who's supposed to be Bane again. Blows up all six bridges leading into the town. Meaning that there's no way to get anything into Gotham, and Gotham turns into a land of lawlessness. This movie was the dams. So you just flood Gotham, but I
was sitting here. I was like, who made this choice about Gotham?
Yeah, no, it's used pretty repeatedly in every single Batman thing that Gotham gets somehow cut off. That's why that part didn't even really faze me. Cause I was like, oh, all right.
Oh, okay, we're flooding again. Cool.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, we're going from blowing up bridges to blowing up the dam. All right, well, all right.
All right, well, I guess that's what we're up to now.
It's just another DC thing. It's just what they do. Gotham just gets flooded.
That's really
Metropolis gets nuked. What?
Gets nuked?
Yeah, and the killing in the Joker killing series. It's a whole thing. Joker.
You can like.
That's the backstory of.
You can pale the water out of Gotham. You can't like.
Yeah, no, that's the backstory. That's the backstory of Injustice.
Okay, I believe you.
DC guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Joker finally gets to Superman, gets him to kill Lois Lane.
Mm-hmm.
By tricking him with fear gas into thinking Lois Lane is Doomsday. So you can imagine how hard he punches Lois Lane.
Yeah, I'm sure.
While she's pregnant. While she's pregnant.
Nah, escándalo. Yeah. Not while she's pregnant.
Kills her in space, and then Joker put a bomb in her tied to a nuke in Metropolis City. So when Superman kills Lois Lane, realizes it's Lois Lane, but can't save her in time, her heartbeat dies, setting off the nuke in Metropolis, killing the entire city. Hence making Superman turn evil.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about comics from DC is what Eddie has told me, and I think it is so funny that they left the fate of one of his kids. Red Hood? No. Damien? I don't know which one.
Which one? Which one?
I don't know. It's where they left the fate up to the people on deciding whether or not he lives or dies.
Jason Todd.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why Red Hood is the first Robin ever killed, because they did a fan vote and they all wanted Jason Todd killed. And then he was killed, then everyone was like, wait.
Oh, we
actually really like, we didn't think you were going to do it. We actually really like him. And so DC was like, all right, for fuck's sake. And it worked. Otherwise we wouldn't have Red Hood.
I know. I know, but I just thought that I think that's just so funny that DC is like, let's leave it up to them.
This was,
And
I
then
mean, mind you,
leave it
this
for
was way
Cole.
back though when they were trying to really compete with Marvel,
I know. That's just the
and
only thing like
it would kind
in
of
my
separate.
noggin about DC
Yeah,
Comics is just like they just voted to kill the kid.
yeah, no, it's been pretty good.
Messed up
So,
shit.
all right, I don't know. We've been going on about 30. We'll get ready to wrap up.
Sure. Is there any last things you have to say about the movie? Give me a rating. Out of 10.
Out of 10. 7.5.
Yeah. I was going to give that movie like a 4.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I was going to like it more than you were.
Obviously.
But, yeah.
So what you said earlier, I just remembered this, that you think the next movie is going to be setting up for the Penguin. What else do you think?
Well, him being in charge of the Iceberg Lounge.
What do you think, like, the next movie was going to be about? Because it's going to be another 3-hour movie.
They're going to do Batman's version of the Rogues Gallery.
I don't know what that means.
So the Flash has a Rogues Gallery where it's like his 6 greatest villains. I think the next movie is going to be Joker. I think for those of you who follow DC a lot and have watched Gotham will understand this reference. I think they're going to do the Gotham route where Joker teams up with the Riddler and other villains to like try to mess with Batman. But it'll also be, I also think there's going to be a slight time skip.
So like what year now?
I think they're going to go year 5.
What happens in between 2 and 5? Anything?
Just villains.
So nothing important?
I mean, nothing that has ever been like announced, but it's just, I think it's a smarter play.
Okay.
To give a time skip because you don't want to do the whole route of everyone breaks out of Arkham all the time thing, which is the trope nowadays. So I think it's going to be just a team up versus Batman set up in the future of year 5. Because remember, Catwoman's leaving, right?
Right.
But obviously she comes back because it's Catwoman, duh. So I think if you want her in the movie again, if you want the love interest involved in some weird way, I think you time skip for multiple reasons. One, he sees his mistakes solely focusing on Batman and not doing the things as Bruce Wayne that he should have done, hence the orphanage and all the other stuff. You can time skip to show that he's changed and is now
he's a changed man.
Being more active as Bruce Wayne. So you can do more Bruce Wayne in the movie without having to explain why you're doing more Bruce Wayne in the movie. You can introduce other villains in jail that everyone knows. Mad Hatter, and he's like an Alice in the Wonderland kind of thing, where he can hypnotize people and get them to do whatever he says.
Okay.
Because he like talks in some weird way and gets essentially just tricks your brain wiring, and like you now will do whatever he tells you to do. Toy maker, it would be another big one. Bane, I feel like you have to stay away from.
Why?
I don't think it fits just yet. Because outside of the Joker, Bane, in my opinion, and for a lot of people, is like Batman's greatest villain outside of the Joker, because he's supposed to be very intelligent, not Riddler Batman intelligent, but very intelligent. He also like runs a Colombian like drug cartel and has the Bane juice, which I think Batman injected himself with.
Bane juice?
Yeah, the Bane venom. That scene where Batman's like almost collapsing from pain, then he takes a green liquid and injects himself. I think that's supposed to be Bane venom.
Just straight adrenaline, straight into the...
So I don't know if that was their indication of like, he's already tussled with Bane and has taken the formula. Or if they're going with like, he's invented the formula and the guy from Bane just like is going to take it in the next movie and then become
Is it actually called Bane juice?
No, I think it's called Venom or something like that.
Venom. Okay.
So I noticed that too, which is, I was like, that's literally what Bane uses for his extra strength. Like, So I couldn't tell which route they were going with. But again, that's lack of explanation. Either tease that he's fought Bane before, or have him indicate that he's created this super serum.
Yeah.
Cut out 20 minutes of the club and give me 2 minutes of that.
Yeah.
I'd be way happier with that.
Hey, do you think Calendar Man will be in the next movie?
I would love to see Calendar Man and Condiment Man. I think that they're staying away from all the jokey villains.
Damn it.
But
Calendar Man.
Yeah, that's my thoughts for the second movie. That's where I think they're going with it.
Okay, I had none. Just so you know.
Yeah.
You've guessed.
Yeah.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah.
Well,
I think so.
Time to wrap up.
It's if you like Batman, see it. If you don't really care about Batman, then you could probably not see it. I mean,
probably wait till it's free somewhere.
Yeah. Wait till it goes on HBO Max, which it will.
I was gonna say, is that where it's gonna go?
Yeah, it would have to, yeah, because HBO Max is owned by Warner Brothers, which owns DC. So yeah.
So just to be certain, Robert Pattinson will be Batman continuing?
Yes.
Thank God.
I think he said he's agreed to do 3.
Okay, good. That means I get to look at him more.
I'm guessing we're gonna get. I'm assuming we're gonna get another trilogy.
Okay.
Do
you think that trilogy would include like a team up kind of thing?
I hope once they realize that the whole Ben Affleck thing is done, because for the rumors that they're still trying to get another one with him.
Why?
Because they want like 2 universes going on. Because DC's dumb.
My head. I could not handle that.
Yeah. Honestly, the thing that I'm most excited for, and we will review it, and you can only say good things about it, is when the Batman Beyond movie comes out. Because they're not Christopher Nolan. God, the guy who played, why am I blanking on his name? Michael Keaton. There you go. The guy who played the Batman in like the 90s or whatever. Is playing the older version of Batman in Batman Beyond. Like they've already confirmed, that's already been confirmed.
Okay.
And the only part of Batman, like iteration of Batman that I'm like an actual fan of, because I'm not a fan of Batman in general, is Batman Beyond. I am 100% a Batman Beyond fan.
Okay.
So we'll review that, but you can only say good things, or I'll just mute you the whole time, and then I'll just talk about how amazing I thought it was.
And just me sitting there just like... Yep. All right, I guess.
Yeah, all right.
I guess I'm the rules.
Yeah, so don't forget, everybody, new episodes on Wednesday. Make sure you check us out on Facebook or Twitter, and go to our Linktree and Instagram. Yep, at _Fandom Effect. And go to our Linktree, which I now have to update with our Instagram.
Correct.
And make sure you just follow us wherever you can. New episodes every Wednesday. I don't think we've made any plans to switch to Friday yet, but stay tuned.
No,
and just
we're forgetful.
Keep following all of our stuff. We'll see you guys in the next episode of the Fandom Effect. And don't forget to listen to last week's episode with Forbes magazine writer Alfred Kanawa. And we'll tease that next week's episode will be some funny stories about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
So stay tuned for that. Okay, bye.
Bye.